card that I personally expect to play with a lot. I mean, it's always possible that white can end up, like aggressive white decks can end up being good. But like, it takes some work. I mean, it's obviously very good if you go like champion of the parish into something and to like make it big and then double strike and kill them.
Right.
But like a lot can go wrong when you're on that plan. But it is nice that like you can play it and it's not easy for your opponent to kill, and you're probably an aggressive deck, so like it's not like they can just like casually kill it by doing a couple of points of damage. Like a burn spell is not going to get it done. They have to actually attack it, and that means that they're not having blockers. So it's good at being around, and the fact that it has an ultimate that is very relevant.
Yes.
So like it's going to hang out. It's going to be hard for your opponent to get rid of, and it's going to threaten a very powerful ultimate.
Yeah. When I looked at it immediately, I didn't think of it so much as a planeswalker in the sense we're used to, which is like it generates this constant advantage, but more so as like once swords rotate, it's going to be that kind of threat. Like while it's on the board, each creature can be much more threatening. It's only good if you're being proactive, so your opponent's going to be fighting it the same way they would fight those kind of cards, I think.
Yeah, it's very much an aggro deck planeswalker. Like, I mean, you're not going to like. I mean, I guess you could put it in a control deck as just like 3 mana gain 5 life. But like, I don't think that's where it's going to be at its strongest.
Sure. So let's move on to Liliana. We've got 2 black, 3 loyalty, kind of a standard size, but this is a nice black planeswalker where most Lilianas have. The first one suffered a lot from her 5 casting cost. The new one was much better at 3, seeing play in Legacy even. So where do you think this one's going to land?
It's going to take a lot of support cards for it to be good. I really wish it had either had 1 more starting loyalty or a -2 instead of -3. Like, I don't like the 3 mana one can kill a creature and leave you with a 1 loyalty planeswalker, and the 4 mana one can't.
Yeah.
Or I wish that the -3 had been or, so that it could like pump your guy and kill their guy, so it could at least be like
powerful.
a swing removal spell.
Yeah.
As is, like, yeah, you can get a bunch of swamps. I mean, I get I get that, you know, never missing a land drop in a control deck is good, but it's only so good. Like, it doesn't defend itself the way that you want a planeswalker to, because it has to kill itself to defend itself the turn it hits play. So like you have to like have a stable board going into your 4th turn in mono black, which is like fine. And then like you probably need something that's going to actually take advantage of the ultimate. At the moment, I guess that's Crystal Brand.
Sure.
It would really like a Consume Spirit to be in the format. If it gets that, it helps a lot, but I don't really think that's enough without a lot of other good black cards to make a Consume Spirit deck playable.
Yeah, I think Liliana's not going to be too much of a heater when she first comes out, but the next set, especially if we are getting Shocklands, as many people anticipate, makes
so
the
she's
swamp
actually
search.
fixing colors?
Yeah, that could be a very interesting thing for a semi-mono black control deck to have available, like splashing all these cards.
Yeah, I mean, if you play some, like, her shade or whatever, so you can have more ways to, like, find your splash color or whatever.
Sure. So, those are the N13 Planeswalkers. Let's talk about the zombies deck. And
instead of zombies or in addition?
No.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the zombie deck. Sam played the zombie deck at the Baltimore Legacy Open, I think was the last one.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's where we did a deck tech on it. And it was very interesting back then. It has a lot of fun stuff in it. It's got Goblin Bombardment Lingering Souls is one of the more adorable. It's also got Gravecrawler obviously being one of the centerpiece engines. So this list is a fair bit different from the last one that you played.
Yeah.
The base core is the same, but you've tweaked around a lot of the cards.
So just a metagame adjustment. I switched from mass discard to spot discard.
Okay.
Like I cut Rotting Rats for Tide Hollow Sculler and Tim de Turok for Thoughtseize.
Okay.
Both of that's going from you discard 2 to you discard 1. And that's just about like whether you want to like tear apart a big hand or whether you want to like hit their important spells. And with the format going more toward combo decks that are based on just like having the right couple cards, like Show and Tell Emrakul or Reanimate. I don't like a lot of those decks don't care about losing 2 random cards, but if they lose the ones they needed, they're like also this plan works better with Cabal Therapy in general. Like when I was playing it before, I was playing a Miser's Gitaxian Probe just to make my Cabal Therapies better, but the value that you get on that is lessened dramatically when you have 7 other ways to see their hand.
Right. That makes sense. The other addition I noticed was Blood Artist, which has seen some play on and off in Type 2. He's starting to pick up steam in the zombie decks there, but he's appearing here in Legacy. As
anyone else has played him in Legacy.
You may be the first.
He's like, I mean, just obviously very good with what my deck's doing.
Sure.
Like, if you have just him and Goblin Bombardment, and you play Giralf's Messenger, they're dead from 10.
Wow. It's an Urza's Rage with Kicker for the actual 3, basically. Like,
so I mean, like, it just, like, I like that it, like, stacks with Goblin Bombardment to, like, make it so your second guy for 2 damage. The real reason that it's there is this deck is, like, it's called Zombies because, like, zombie synergies are printed on the cards. It's really tribal can't block. I have Gravecaller, Carrion Feeder, and Bloodghast all explicitly say they can't block, and Giralf's Messenger comes into play tap, so it basically can't block. So that's generally fine in Legacy, because like a lot of, if your opponents are playing combo or whatever, you don't need to block. But if your opponents are playing green creatures, and you have small black guys that can't really attack into them, sometimes blocking is super important. First, I have Lingering Souls to help out with that, which is huge.
Yep. But,
like, not actually enough, and so I need some bigger guys. Before I had Tombstalkers. Tombstalker is pretty good at blocking, but games 2 and 3 it doesn't do anything because people bring in like relics and stuff, and you can't count on having a graveyard, so you kind of have to board it out.
Again, last call to register for the standard.
And Blood Artist is a guy that lets me. He doesn't exactly let me block. I mean, you can chump block with him.
Right.
But the life that you gain off him means that you can actually take some hits and race the decks that have bigger guys than you, especially if you're looping Gravecrawlers or Bloodghast or you have Lingering Souls going. It just speeds up your clock a lot while gaining you life so that you can actually win races.
So in many ways, it's actually better than having the ability to block because you're presenting a clock in addition to defending yourself. Yeah.
Also, my favorite term in Magic is chump attacking. It's very rarely right. That's when you send a small guy into a big guy and they block and you put it in your graveyard and pass. Blood Artist gives you a good excuse to make a lot of chump attacks because you have guys that you want to die but they can't block. So you gotta do what you gotta do.
I learned to chump attack early when one of my Magic lessons was if you're not going to block with it, you might as well be attacking.
Sure.
And then we learned how to call the bluffs. All right, we've got the next round coming soon, round 8, back to standard for you with blue-white mid-range. What's your record in standard so far?
5-1.
5-1?
4-1? 4-1? Yeah,
4-1?
So
4-1 standard so far.
Yep.
All right, so we're coming up with the standard metagame breakdown after this, and then we'll have round 8.